Absolutely, we are rebuilding. We should be part of the students' social media intake every single day.
On November 18th, 1921, the first issue of the Aggie Herald, now known as the Herald, was circulated. Stated in the Yearling, the now discontinued yearbook at Arkansas State, this was said about the Herald after its first year. We believed it is going to remain a permanent factor in this administration, so that students, as well as parents and alumni, may keep in touch with the happenings of Aggie. While the yearbook doesn't exist anymore, the Herald is still going strong, almost 105 years later, and has stayed true to his motto, informing the campus and the community since 1921. Over its 105 years, the student newspaper has covered all sorts of changes to A-State, from when it became a university in 1967, written by Roy Ockert with the advising of Joel Gamble, two prominent figures still at Arkansas State.
Okay, so have you ever heard of the Herald?
Of the what?
Of the Herald.
No.
Do you want to take a shot about what you think it is?
A book.
It's a student's newspaper. So do you think you'll pick it up now that you know what it is?
Yes, of course.
Great! Okay, so have you ever heard of the Herald?
Yes, I have.
What is it?
Our school's newspaper.
Perfect, thank you. Ever heard of the Herald?
A what?
The Herald.
No, I have not.
Do you want to take a guess at what it is?
Maybe like a Broadway show?
No, it's a student's newspaper. But, yeah. Thank you.
I think the Herald has influenced student engagement because, once again, it helps to get information out there for students. Like any newspaper, part of the role of journalism is to help us be informed citizens. Research shows that when a town loses its newspaper, corruption can happen in city government because what? There's nobody there to watch people. If they know a journalist is going to be at the meeting every time they meet, coming down there making freedom of information requests, they're more, city and government officials are more likely to do the right thing. Sometimes they don't do the right thing, but they're more likely to do that if someone is watching them. Here at the Herald, we have someone at faculty meetings, at student government meetings, and what do? They come back and they print those stories in the newspaper. So we help keep students engaged, and now as I watch the students, they'll do a poll in the Herald to get ask you what you think about something. We write opinion pieces. When they had the protest a couple of weeks ago, that made a front page story here. So the Herald, now we have to try to be objective and not be a part of the story, but if we can be there, we're going to be there with a camera, a video camera, recording stories. And when people see that, they're likely to participate in an interview. So that helps with engagement. We cover games. So I think that contributes to student engagement, and it gives students a reason to want to pick up the paper when it comes out every week. The Herald is an asset to the school. Once again, the Herald helps to keep us informed. You don't want to live in a society where people are not informed. That is problematic. The Herald stays on top of issues. We get stories. We'll cover things other entities on campus might not cover. Actually, we are the news source. We are the news hub, the hub of news. I would say for the campus. If someone in the chancellor's office needs to get a message to the students, or someone in athletics, or something is going down, we are there to cover that. So that we are like the living source, or like the New York Times. we are keeping the record for the campus, and we are bringing issues to the front that you might not think about, but we want to keep our students informed. So we might report on something that no one knew about. So we're there to do that. Definitely important to the School of Media and Journalism because news and journalism, and I always have to explain this to people. Don't think that just because the paper product is kind of fading and we're looking at our phones. Because I look at most of my news on the screen too, but it's the process of the journalism. It's not going anywhere. We need the journalism.
Well, I mean, it's the phrase you hear all the time is it's the first draft of history. So, I mean, I guess in a kind of broad sense, that's why it's important. But I mean, it's important for people to know what's going on in their lives. Anything as simple from, this church is doing a chili cook-off all the way to, here's local elections coming up, here's new bills that are being passed, here's, what your city leaders are doing. I mean, it's all important so people can make informed decisions, whether that's, how am I going to spend my Wednesday evening up till, who do I vote for when I go to the polls, things like that. I mean, that's it. It shapes our lives a lot more than I think sometimes people can realize. And it really is, it is your source of information. It's how you can make informed decisions.
We live in an age where there's so much distorted information out there. So we need people trained in journalism who know how to check facts and verify information, or people are going to be misled. There are things that journalists can do that chatbots and AI can't do. Uh, they're good for helping you to maybe compile statistics and do that kind of work. So you'll be free to work on the journalism. But AI can't build relationships in a community. It can't build relationships with the fire chief, the provost, the chancellor, the athletic director. That's where people come in. Those are people roles where they go build relationships, stay on a beat, cover campus crime, bring issues to us. For example, now this may happen down the road. There may be AI and chatbots that can go out and do the people roles, but I don't see it anytime soon. For example, when I taught my AI course a year ago, one of the things we learned that AI is good for is, let's say you have a whole lot of statistics about a baseball game. You used to have to step away and do that on your own, but now you can run it through a computer and let AI do that kind of work for you. And then you add that to your story. But like I said, the Herald, the student journalists that we are training and educating, we need them, and but we're teaching them a skill set that they can transfer to various jobs. Corporate, you can work in corporate communications, nonprofits, you can work in sports media. So there's so much you can do with this degree. So don't think that if you get the degree and newspaper, as they say, newspapers are dead and all that. Well, newspapers, that's just one way to do journalism. If you were in my history of mass media class, you would see how we used to write on clay tablets, and we used to have somebody stand up by the barbershop and talk, and people would come around and get the news. We've gone from writing on clay tablets to the telegraph. Now we don't no longer have a person, because people back then, the town crier would stand on the corner and give out the news. A lot of people couldn't read. So guess who the town crier is now? It's an anchor person. We sit there in front of the TV and we watch them read the news to us. That's what they did 200 years ago.
Mhm.
It just looks differently. So we're always going to need people who can give us the real news, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people will take advantage of you because they can mislead you. But if you have journalists working for organizations like Snopes.com, and if you're the journalist yourself, you know how to verify and go look at statistics and determine what's true and what's not true. See, that we teach our students how to do all of that, and that's why they do so well in law school, journalism, sports information, because they know how to find the facts, gather the facts, organize it, write it, produce it, and get it out there.
Story I'm most proud of publishing is probably the one I did with Caroline Averett in 2023, I think. I'm going to turn around. It's on my desk, actually. 2024, February 7th. This was when we learned. Yeah, so this is I think I'm most proud of this story. That's why it's on my desk pinned up. This was, although the content of the story is actually kind of sad, but this is when we found out that the journalism program was beyond its way out, and there was a faculty senate meeting, and Caroline Averett and myself went to the faculty senate meeting, and it was like an hour long or 2 hours, and it was a big, it was kind of drama really, but there was a lot going on with like the Arkansas Department of Education, higher education, and the viability standards for the program. So we weren't getting enough graduates, and they cut the program along with a bunch of other ones. And there was kind of this, like I said, drama between the creative media production faculty and the multimedia journalism. And so we interviewed all the people from the journalism side, the multimedia journalism side, and also the creative media production side. And so we got all these different angles, and I was just, it is, I mean, you can't really avoid a bias with a story like that, because obviously, it directly concerns my degree and my major and my, in the Herald. So there was no avoiding the bias, but I'm just kind of proud of how much attention it got and how much we were able to like inform people about what happened at the meeting and to get all the different angles, because we didn't just focus on the journalism side. We talked to, Dr. Mary Jackson Pitts and got a lot of good info from her, and I think it was well-rounded. Me personally, I'm more proud of other stories I've done on my own, but this one, I was just really hyped about it when it came out, so that's kind of what I go to.
So, and that's why the Herald is important to the campus and definitely important to the School of Media and Journalism, because our students need a product that they can take with them after they leave campus. For example, when you all graduate on May 8th, 9th, or whatever, there are going to be hundreds of people there with degrees, but will they have something to say, this is what I did. You want to look at my work? You can look at my work online. We have an online edition. Or you can look at my portfolio. A lot of people graduate and they just say, well, yeah, I have a BS and whatever. And you have to wonder, is all this true on this resume? I can't see anything. What did you do? But with our students, they're going to always leave with a product. I can show you my scrapbook from when I was a student. I saved everything. So we always have something to show. And then we, like I said, we record the history. We're the New York Times for the campus. The New York Times records the history, and other newspapers do, but the New York Times has the nickname of being the newspaper of record, because they go all the way back to the 1800s. They've never closed. Even in the digital age, they have their own digital. They're digital first. So anything you want to know historically about this nation, you can just about go there and get a start. And that's what we want. That's what we do here at the Herald. We can't cover everything, but we're doing a pretty good job. And we used to publish twice a week. Now we publish once a week, and we continue to make updates in our online edition. So we're keeping the record of what happened here. And when you all have left and graduated 10 years from now, if you want to know something, maybe we'll be online. We'll have where you can just look at it online by then. But that's always been my goal, to digitize it and put it online like it is for the, like we've done with the yearbook.
One of the things that I noticed last fall was that we need to increase student awareness of the Herald. So I talked to Dr. Hill, and in one of our classes, there are groups of students who are working on ad campaign projects. That's correct. And one of the groups chose to work with the Herald, and their focus is to help us increase readership. So in fact, it's just this week, just yesterday, They launched the first Instagram post. Did y'all see it? It was fun. It was fun. And that's going to be a 6-week social media campaign to help us kickstart things. And that will continue even after that 6 weeks is up, because I think that's really critical to get students more aware of the paper. Although I was really encouraged. One of the things that they've done is they walked around campus and talked to a variety of students, different classifications, different genders, different majors, different ethnicities, you name it. And most of them were actually aware of the Herald. They knew what it was. So I was encouraged about that. So student awareness is really important. After that, this is kind of like a layer if you want to talk about student awareness. Maybe we should wait and do that later. That's one thing that we're doing this semester, is focusing on student awareness of the paper. Another thing is we have begun a semester-long project. It's a collaborative effort with DDNS that we're kind of, the working title is College Town, or Town with a College, where we are interviewing students and community leaders, trying to determine what we can do to trying to determine what Jonesboro can do to become a better town for college students. The students have told us that they want more activities, they want more things downtown, they want things on the weekend, activities, events. So we have compiled. Allie did a great job compiling a list of students to talk to. She sent out a survey to all of the all of the students enrolled on the Jonesboro campus, and we got great results back from that.
I think that because of the relationship that the Herald has established with print services and our history of printing a newspaper since 1921, that we should continue to print for as long as we're able to afford the paper to do so with, and as long as print services is willing to print us a paper every Wednesday. I think that we absolutely should be putting effort towards digital content, though. Digital content, I think that the Herald and any newspaper really, student publication or otherwise, should absolutely focus on digital content, because that's where people are right now. It's much more convenient. You can break news a lot faster on a phone than in a paper that only prints every Wednesday. So I think that, if we're wanting to engage people and do our job as journalists for college, then we need to put more stuff online and put things like hyperlinks and a lot of photos and even videos and stuff like that, and do more on social media. But yeah, I don't want to stop printing, though. I think that's something that, like I said, there's a tradition for it, and I just think that, yeah, we need to keep doing that.
How much time it takes, how much effort goes into it. Look over my shoulder, you see some students. These are the section editors back here working on production night. And I don't know what time it is right now, but they will be here until the wee hours of Wednesday morning. They meet on staff meetings on Monday night, where they assign stories for the following week. And those stories are then submitted on Sunday of the following week. And the editors edit those. Starts all over again the next week on the following Monday. But then on Tuesday, they come in and they put the paper together. It is a big investment of time. And I don't think most students realize how much time goes into actually producing the paper every single week.
The late nights. Last semester, I had a biology class on Wednesday mornings, and all of our tests, every time we had a test, was Wednesday mornings, and it was 10 a.m., and I'm like, And in high school, I never studied. In college, you kind of have to study if you want to get a good grade. I literally pulled an all-nighter one night. We finished the paper at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I had an exam that morning. I'm like, I'm just going to stay at the office, study for this test. That's great. I got no sleep. I slept on the floor in the room over there, and I got a pretty good grade. I think I got 92. Those are definitely the hardest, and coming up with stories and getting people to take the stories. But.
Yeah. We've seen our staff shrink, and then we'll have to build it back up. People graduate. We might, like our current editor, this is his second year being editor, I believe, but he started out in other positions. He's getting ready to graduate in May. So once again, we'll need to build the staff and get people in the pipeline to continue leading the paper. But someone always shows up, even though we'll be saying, "Oh, who's going to be editor?" We'll get a little worried, and some student always steps up. So we've had that challenge. And then, technology changes all the time. Our IT person came in the other day and he said, did they tell you? I'm giving you the warning. So we need some new computers. Now, if you walked in there and you saw our computers, you say, oh, what do y'all need computers for? But it's the inside of the computer that's wearing down. And like with any piece of technology, they're great when they're great, but when they start, getting we're running into the problem with the Herald where the computers look okay, but the inside is outdated. It's getting harder and harder to update it. So we're dealing with that. So now sometimes the students who work on the Herald are not our majors. So we're still building up our program to get our majors in there because we have special training that we do, and we want to make sure we report the news. We have a lot of people who do a great job writing movie reviews and opinion columns, but we still understand that we need to cover the news. We need somebody over there talking to the chancellor, the provost, the faculty senate president, telling us about the hard issues. So, and that's what we train you to do in our journalism courses. And so we want that balance, and it's okay, but we want to build the news side more. So that's a challenge to make sure we balance our content with creative pieces versus hard news.
I do think it needs to be more multimedia because that's where you guys are. Print is not dead, and it won't be dead, but there's more to communication than just print. So that's one reason I think the social media campaign that we're engaging in is important, and why video is so important, podcast, all those things. Down the road, the Herald needs to be able to incorporate all those pieces, all those elements.
I have enjoyed my time at the Herald supremely, 100%. The latest I've ever come home from a production night was right after the most recent election, and in 2024, and it was like 6 a.m. or something like that. The sun was coming up. That was like the most fun time I've had in the office. So again, it goes both ways. You got to sacrifice sometimes your sleep schedule and your mental state, to have a little bit of fun and to get the paper out. But I've just had a really great time here, and I've met some really great people. And I know for a fact, and it's really good to have the confidence and the assuredness that that you're learning a lot and that you're going to be able to apply these skills. So I really appreciate that from my time here at the Herald, and just involving myself and talking to all these amazing people and getting to know them and doing all these interviews and writing all these stories and trying to change things up a little bit. I could have done a whole lot more. There's a lot that I didn't do that I should have done, and there's plenty of emails I didn't get back to people on that I definitely still need to. I'm just very grateful for everything.
As I start my term as editor-in-chief next semester, I want to say I'm so grateful for this group of people that have helped me be where I am right now today. And I hope that I can do well with the Herald, and kind of just, if you have a news tip or anything that you want us to cover, open if somebody's in here, which most of the time, Monday and Tuesday, we're in here working. So drop by, give us, or email us, DM us on Instagram. Y'all want to be featured in the paper? We want to feature you in the paper. It's a student newspaper. So any help, anything is welcome. Each year, the Herald editors and some staff go to the Arkansas College Media Association Awards, or ACMA. This past year, all 6 of the editors were able to travel to Russellville to see how their hard work paid off. In total, the newspaper won 49 awards, including 2 General Excellence Awards, those being Best Website and an honorable mention for the newspaper. Out of the 47 remaining, 12 were first place awards. While getting awards isn't their purpose for the paper, it sure is an added bonus each April. It was a time had by all. All the editors had so much fun getting to hang out with each other and just get to know each other better and win some awards and learn some.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, yeah.
Okay, so